Tampa Bay's Black Author Expo is happening this weekend here
in Tampa. The theme is Keeping Black Lit Alive, and we have a featured poet who's going to tell us how you can get involved in the event.
Welcome to another edition of Rooted in Progress. It's Thursday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Good morning, Nisha. Good morning. Good morning.
My favorite day of the week. I don't know about you, Terrence.
Welcome back. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Oh, it's not my favorite day of the week.
No, why not?
Because Fridays are my favorite day of the week.
Well, that's everyone's favorite. You gotta be different.
Yes. No. Give me
I like
Friday.
Thursdays because it's podcast day, and then it's Friday Junior.
Okay.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And then Friday gets here, and you look forward to the weekend.
Friday Junior, not Friday Eve.
Friday Junior. I said what I said.
I never heard of that before.
Well, if you didn't know, now you know.
Welcome back.
It's
it's good not flying solo this week. It was fun last week, but we missed you.
Yeah.
We missed Deanne. We missed
Yes.
Kristen. Kristen's on New Hours as well. So we are really rolling with a slim crew these past few weeks. So,
but it's okay because
we holding it down, folks. We are holding
and staying
it down.
Rooted. Okay,
yes,
that's
staying
the
rooted.
point. Oh, my mic is so messed up, Terrence. You didn't even tell me.
Yes.
Ooh.
Well, listen, let's get right into this. Today's topic is Black Author Expo, which is taking place this weekend. And we have a fabulous poet in the studio today. Let's welcome him in. Brother Troy. Pronounce your last name, Troy. I don't want to get it wrong. Legette?
Legette.
Legette.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Legette.
Welcome to
Troy.
Rooted. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm good. It is a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me on the show.
Of course.
Yeah.
Rooted in Progress.
Yes.
Rooted in Progress.
Staying
Yeah,
rooted.
man. Yes.
All right, so go ahead, Terrence.
No, go ahead. I don't want to step. I've been talking too much there.
Yeah, you
go
have.
ahead. Go
It's
ahead,
all right,
Nisha.
though. It's all right. Just tell us a little bit about you. Well, you know, you're from Trenton, New Jersey, right?
Yes, originally born, raised in Trenton, New Jersey. Grew up there, went to school there. Then I relocated to Florida with my family.
And how long ago was that?
Ooh, that's early 90s. So
Okay.
I've been back and forth during that time frame.
So you consider yourself a Floridian now? Because that's a long time.
It is a long time. long as Florida welcome me, I'm here. But, I never forget home.
I know that's right. Terrence and I, we're both transplants, too. I'm from San Diego originally, and he's from Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wow. Yeah, Tampa love people. They welcome us all.
Sometimes. Because when I was moving here, they was like, Tampa is full. Get out. I'm like, Jesus, come on. I want to be here, too. Everybody wants opportunities, folks.
Yeah. Tampa have them.
Right. And so you tell us about how you got started with literature. I know you're a poet, but how did it start? Take us back to, was it early days in Trenton, New Jersey? Were you like writing stories in like your English class? Like tell us how you got started.
So it's a wild story. So great, interesting story. I'm a guy that enjoyed words, spelling. I did well in spelling. I did well in math. Spelling, I was fascinated. I've always been fascinated with words. And but I never knew what I was going to do with them. So listening to music, I fell in love with music, R&B, hip hop mainly. And then it got into me attempting to learn how to do that art by writing rhymes, things of that nature. And that's how it all kind of like started.
And how old were you around this time?
Oh man, I'm like, I'm a late elementary guy. So we talking maybe like 7th, 8th grade time frame, really trying to, learn how to do that because you were attracted to it. So I was attracted to it. And then in the 90s, I think 1998, I had a more clear focus with some opportunities because, I was reading books, getting into books, learning about poets and learning about these. Sometimes they had competitions and contests and things like that. So in 1998, I took and wrote a poem that I submitted to some type of contest in a newspaper. Can't even remember what it was, but I was just attempting it. And, they gave me great feedback saying they like my work. So then I just started taking it serious and just started writing from there and reading up on other writers as well.
So what were some of your early publishings?
Early publishings? That's the thing. Most of my writings I kept to myself. Ooh. So it took someone to come to me and ask me one day what was I doing, and I let them take a look, and they said, you need to share this with people. You can't just have this to yourself. People, this is pretty good. People need this. And that's what inspired my first book in 2015.
Troy, where'd you get your motivation from? Typically, I know I used to write poetry when I was younger, but
You did? Cheers.
I did, man.
Wow.
I did. But it was just like something, I never forget my 8th grade class, Mrs. Barnwell's reading. I had an assignment for homework, and I didn't do it. And I sat there in homeroom class and just off the top of the dome.
Really?
Even then, I was dropping bars. And so...
Oh, you thought he was a rapper in the making. That's what it sounded like.
No, but real talk. I wrote something down that came to my mind just that easy.
Yes.
And turned it in, got an A, and she really started like bringing it out of me.
Yes.
And I used to write quite a bit in middle and high school, and but it just fell off. Like I didn't take it anywhere. So what drew your motivation?
So we kind of similar in that area. So in high school, this is the weirdest thing in my computer class. Before computers became really popular, I used to sit in class and write on computers and print them out. You know,
Like the notepad?
no notepad, like a Google Doc or whatever it
Oh,
was.
okay,
you know,
okay.
like whatever it is you type in. And I used to sit there on assignments, in between assignments, and be sitting there. I say rhyme is poetry, so writing so-called lyrics. And I just realized that later in life as a poet, like, wow, this is what I was doing in class. Sometimes I would take out a pen and pad in between class time and do it as well. But it was more so a personal thing. A few of us knew, you know, we would get together and we would share our works with each other. But most times it was more personal. And so now I'm learning how to be open more and share more and find out those that like the creativeness, art that I share or bring to the table.
Are you an only child or?
No. I got a brother and sister from, you know, my mom biologically, and then I have in a marriage.
Okay.
It's about total of about 7 of us.
So growing up in the household, it was all
Me.
7 or just you?
Or
Or
it was
you
all
and your
3
two
of
sons?
us.
All 3
and
of you,
periodically we would have
Yeah.
one of our other brothers and sisters would stay with us, and we get to spend time with them as well.
Were you the oldest, youngest, or?
I was the oldest until a few brothers and sisters come, and then they're the oldest. But
And I guess what I'm getting at is like just your inspiration. Like, was there a dark time? Was there a lonely time? Was there a happy time? And you know, that kind of inspired you to write some of this.
So the
some of your
inspiration,
poetry.
good. So the inspiration for me comes from just life experience, living life personally, interaction with people, things that I see, environments, those type of things, as well as inspiration came from, you know, I was a TV guy too when I was younger. So I watched TV and I see people. I was a sports guy as well. So watching these things, you see people having success, you see people doing things, and sometimes you want to emulate that or wear the same shoes if possible. So a lot of my inspiration came from them. A lot of inspiration came from my parents, you know, seeing them work hard, trying to make the best and provide the best opportunities for me and my brothers and sisters. And grandparents, learning, you know, the struggles that they've been through and how far, you know, they have got us to be able to have the things that they didn't. So all of those things, as well as family and friends, played a role of influence.
Interesting.
So is a lot of your work like, I don't know if this is actually the right way to ask this question.
Go ahead.
But was it fiction based, or is it like based like on your life, quote unquote, a true story?
Okay, great question. So I'm gonna say a little of both, because sometimes, you know, depending on how I want to vent, if I'm going through something emotionally, feeling the pain, that may be an avenue I want to go. When I'm happy or I see someone share art that's great, I get a vibe and an inspiration, and there I go. I gotta do something too. So it's a combination of both. Sometimes you have to recreate a fictional story to bring out some type of dialogue, I guess you'll say, that people may be interested in, that's reality based. So I may not have gone through it, but I may have met you. I may have met Terrence, and you may have shared an experience with me, and I may not specifically talk about your personal experience, but I may have something that trickles off of it. So that same understanding of that experience, you can kind of get a similar feel as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that.
So tell us about your first book that you wrote. What inspired you to write that? And you
have 2 books, so let's talk about the first one.
All right. Yes, the first one is called Social Climax, and that was self-published and released to 2015. Okay, now that book started when I started my focus in 1998 with taking poetry itself seriously, like just writing for poetry. And over a period of years, I challenged myself, pushed myself, and I wrote poems. Some of those poems were written various different times a day. Sometimes I would be sleeping and I wake up 2-3 in the morning and I write it down. Sometimes I'm shower, I'm walking, I'm working, whatever it may be. So I used to take little notes and jot it down, and then I may start it and finish it later. The interesting about the first book is that was a book written as it came to me. So it wasn't no structural language to it. You know, how the words came is how I wrote them. Wow. So in there, you may, when you read it, you know, if you're a literary specialist, you may say, you know, that sentence.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But I wrote it intentionally the way that it came to me so that I can see what's coming out of me. And then if I continue to do this, what can I compare it to as my growth? The difference. So that was what the first one was based on. I touched on a lot of emotional topics in there. You know, in the first book, I touched on divorce, marriage. I touched on military, our soldiers. I touched on the incident that happened in New Orleans when they had the hurricane or flood.
The Hurricane Katrina?
Yeah, Katrina. I touched on that. I think I briefly touched on the 9/11.
Okay.
I touch on love. I talk about a lot of love because, you know, from God, for us as men and guys, boys, whatever, a lot of times that's not something that we just openly share and just do. Right. But deep down, we all would like to be involved with someone seriously and have a supporting second, better half with us. So, you know, this is where some of the fiction come in. You know, you kind of put yourself in the shoes. Okay, let's talk. All right, this is your moment. This is your moment to be, and you're in front of someone that you care about or interested in, and you let her know. Or someone is going through something and they're talking to you. You know, they don't know how to communicate in that situation.
Right.
Here's the words you can use to communicate. You know, from my perspective, whether it's right or wrong, it wasn't that.
Well, who were some of your mentors growing up?
Or who did you look up to?
What were some of your favorite books that you used to study and mimic?
Okay, so as far as writing and poetry, there was no one person that stood next to me that I knew of as a writer or poet that influenced me or encouraged me and coached me. That was something I kind of grew into myself. But the inspiration and influence definitely come from my parents, definitely come from family members, definitely come from friends, definitely come from teachers, definitely come from the coaches that I've had from athletics, and definitely come from a lot of the people in my life that cared enough to discipline me for when I may not have been on the right track. It comes from them, because those were the associations that I had close to me at that time that I can say, yes, when comparing to, all right, I want you to write this line, this word, this is how you do poetry. This, you know, I didn't have that. So me working those real life experiences in my communication and writing is how it happened for me.
Yeah, that's great, man.
And
it's so powerful because of what we've all gone through in our life. And I'm sure, well, you could get everyone in this room and we could sit down and talk about different moments in our life that are memorable, but yet also tragedy. And we always tend to, happy or sad, revert back to music or, you know, something poetic.
Yes.
You know, that help us get through. So we actually have Mary Jo in our comments asked if you ever are approached by songwriters to write songs. Is that a case? How is that? And if it is, or if it's not, how is that different?
Okay, so my attempt at writing songs, hip hop songs, was something that I did with another thing I did without training. I just took it upon myself and started going at it. But I learned that from listening to other artists that previously recorded professional music, watching them in their professional videos. That was how I was learning, which sometimes that is considered training in a sense. But I just did it on my own unknowingly. I didn't know to do this, to be able to do this. So that was the starting point of it. I would love to be able to work with songwriters and be able to write songs with or for people. The thing is, with that, I later learned that lyrics and rhymes is poetry.
Yeah,
It is.
It is.
So, everything connects to poetry, which is interesting to me because I would thought that I would know that. But I'm being honest, I didn't even know that they were the same thing. So when I learned that they were the same thing, after I took a class with literary specialists, through colleges. It was called a community literature initiative. And through them, they helped me kind of hone in and understand more about poetry, how serious it is to people who are in the arts. I've seen songwriters and got to network with songwriters that go through their program as well. So I knew I was on the right track with song. Yeah.
Is hip hop the only thing you've ever kind of dove into, or
Any other genres?
yeah?
Hip hop is my starting point. Hip hop is, I never wrote ballads until I entered the program. It was called CLI program. So that was a part of our assignment, write a ballad. And I saw the difference in writing a ballad and how I wrote rhymes. So my comfort zone is when I'm writing rhymes and lyrics, I call them lyrics, versus me attempting to write a ballad. But when you look at it, a ballad is more simple, but it has more meaning. When I say more meaning,
that's where it hits you in
it hits
the
you in
core.
the heart. Yes, it hits you in the
pour all your
core.
feelings out.
And music and hip hop, it's music out there that do that as well. But my focus was more so on the hip hop side. I wasn't doing any R&B or ballads. Yeah.
So that community literacy initiative, that's what you said the program is called?
Community Literature Initiative.
Sorry about that. I just butchered the whole name. Is that program here in Tampa, or is that back home in New Jersey?
No, it's not. It's neither. It's based out of California.
Oh, that's where I'm from.
Oh, you're from California?
San Diego,
you did
girl.
say San Diego.
619.
So I got contacted by one of the representatives, and they offered an opportunity, and I pursued it. And I learned that it was a great investment and a great opportunity for me because I got to meet so many people who were advanced, understood, and had a love, if not as much, greater than me for words and poetry and lyrics and the next level, which is like spoken word, which they like to do. And that was a higher learning for me because I didn't know they existed.
Wow.
Is that program still around to this day?
Yes, it is. And I can get the information for you where you'll be able to research them, reach out to them, talk to them, even, send some of the footage here, interviews of the show. They would love that. But they are connected with a lot of poets and a lot of authors. Their main goal is once you take the program, when you're done, you will have a book.
Wow. So you said that's based in California. So any inspiring poets, authors in the Tampa Bay area or Florida in general, is it an online diversion? Like, how does that work? Or is it
for the program?
Yes.
Yeah, you get connected online, so you'll be virtually. They have it both ways, virtually and in person. So that was my closest to being mentored and getting the coaching that is needed to kind of keep me on the right track and continue to grow.
Wow.
So I got a question going back to your first book. And you said you intentionally wrote it literally just how it popped in your head, right?
Yes.
So did you find yourself, for the all the grammar errors or whatever that was published, do you find yourself kind of explaining that to people? That this was just an experiment. I really wanted to really get out everything that was going on in my head. Blah blah blah. Did you find yourself kind of explaining that? And what was the take? What was the feedback? The feedback you received from that. Because that's interesting, very interesting.
Thank you. Let me get a little more clear. I did have to submit to an editor to look it over, so it wasn't going to be too far off. Right. But things that when I read it and we were in disagreement, when I said I leave that like it is. But some things I did correct. That so that it makes somewhat of a sense, some sense. But I've only the most feedback that I got when it comes to that is people that's more so specialized in the English language.
Okay. Yep.
You know, they recognize things, they incomplete sentences, run-on sentences, word uses, word choices, those things, which inspired me to more so pursue the program I was mentioning about. You know what I mean? Because I wanted training, I wanted to get better as a writer. So in saying that, I never really had negative feedback from people because they don't focus in on that. They still was able to get the message in some majority of the poems out of the book.
That's deep, man. Because as an artist, you know, I think the creativity part of being an artist is that there's no boundaries. There's no out of bounds, you know.
Freedom.
Yeah, even being in TV, I'm more so behind the scenes. Naisha's behind the scenes. We all are artists in some form or fashion. Creativity is kind of something what we drive on. And for you to actually publish something to that magnitude, and I guess to your average reader, it probably was a little. Did you get any negative feedback? And if so, it probably was a little disheartening, maybe, or. And I think that's kind of what I was asking the previous question was, you know, did you find yourself having to explain yourself far too many times as to why you wrote it the way you did? No.
So I think more so topics is what causes a clash or have maybe raises an eyebrow. So in the first book, I talk about abortion a bit, you know, voicing a choice of argument, but I left it open-ended. So wherever side you fell on, that was your side. It's not my choosing. I touch on, I was being brutally honest on how I felt about certain experiences, even if it went to race, even if it went to abuse, even if it went to marriage and divorce, whatever. I voiced my opinion, how I felt, how I saw it to be. Right. Because the original name of my book was going to be called As I See It. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? But I changed it because, you know, for marketing purposes, I wanted it more so to have something more broad. So that's why I ended with Social Climax.
I like that.
Yeah.
So that was your first book.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about the
and I'll show
second.
Let me show you the cover of the first book. I got it right here. Yes.
You sharing with the class today.
Why don't you read us a quick excerpt before we take a quick break?
Okay, I got you. All right. So I'm gonna read this poem right here.
Yeah.
What's the title? Or does it not have one?
What About Me?
Okay.
It's a little different, but I'm gonna see where we go. I ask, what is my worth in the heart of the child I create or even love as my own? When I'm gone and distant, your resistance places me in another prison, forcing me to divine the definition of what I'm feeling. Wishing attention, just listen and try to understand my position. I ask, what is my worth in the heart of the child I create or even love as my own? Growing into the man you see forces me to be a part of you while achieving your goals and dreams, leaving me no choice but to handle the responsibility of teaching you how to love your identity and what reality really is. I ask, what is my worth in the heart of the child I create or even love as my own? Shown clearly in the eyes, it's no surprise how far I will go to provide and educate your mind, making sure you're not lost somewhere hard to find, so many steps behind in the moment of time. I ask, what is my worth in the heart of the child I create or even love as my own? Sharing the throne of life, I do sacrifice so the bills are paid and we all eat right. Also gain a better insight to shine that divine light as a guide to victory through our struggles and plights. Again, I ask, what is my worth in the heart of the child I create or even love as my own? And that was written June 6, 2004.
Wow. That's deep, man.
Ooh.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break, folks. We'll be right back. Stand by.
All right.
We're back in the Rooted in Progress studio. I'm your host, Terrence Middlebrooks, along with Naisha Harper. And again, if you're just joining us, we have poet and author Troy Legette in our studio with us, joining us. The Tampa Bay Black Author Expo is taking place this weekend, and Troy has the honor to be one of the featured poets. And we're just talking a little bit about his background, his history, his motivation when it comes down to writing these books, as well as a lot of these deep poems. So the poem you just read was nice, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that was from The Social Climax, the first book that he hold it up for the folks.
Yeah, I got
The first book that he released. And then he has a second one, The Objective Scholar. He gave me a copy of this. It feels nice too, y'all.
Tell us a little bit about
Poetic wordplay.
Oh, yes, The Objective Scholar. So The Objective Scholar, Poetic Wordplay is my second poetry collection. It's the follow-up to Social Climax. I had an intentional expected date of 2017 to release the book. However, we had to push the release date back, and I'm glad I did because I was able to get the training I need to kind of take the book to the next level that I wanted it to reach. So in this book is more intentional. This book is more specific. This book is more poetry driven, which me challenging and focusing on some poetry styles. This book, I got coaching, I got training from the CLI program located out in California. And it was written over a period of time as well. So I really like this book. I'm really happy for this book. This book has been getting great reviews. The book has been getting winning awards.
Really?
Yes. In fact.
Yeah. So you earned the literary Titan Book Award. Is that correct?
Yes.
And when did you receive that award?
Ooh, I believe I received that one in 2024, if I'm not mistaken.
And which work of art was that for? Or was that a generalized award?
No, that was for The Objective Scholar. So my first book, I really didn't win any awards because that was my initial step into the industry, into the book world. And then I was learning what to do, talking with people, learning how to do what I need to do, promoting, market, finding out how to independently promote and market the book. The second book, you know, I stepped it up by sharing it more, entering it into competitions, contests, putting the book in front of literary specialists who can give me great feedback, criticism, and reviews. And so far, everything's been thumbs up, the whole journey.
Nice. So I know musicians, they like strive for like Grammys and all the accolades. Any of those accolades on your bucket list?
Always. One of my main, is several, but I'm gonna start with this bullet point, is to be recognized and respected by true literary specialists, people that do this, you know. But my goal is definitely to win awards for it, for the work that I put in, to show some type of something to show for it. So recently, I gotta share it. I just won a actual.
That's shiny.
Yeah, I just won an actual gold medal for from the Reader's Favorite Book Award.
Do you mind if I look at it?
Yes, go ahead.
All right.
And thank you, Reader's Favorite, for choosing me as the gold winner. I appreciate that. I'm very, very grateful.
Look at y'all. Look at this, y'all.
Okay.
It's gold with the green lanyard for those who are listening. And it reads Reader's Favorite Book Award winner.
Yes.
This is nice. It got a little
Thank
weight
you.
to it too.
Yes,
So-
yes.
Let's dive into the Tampa Bay Black Expo book.
Yes.
Black Author Expo that's taking place this weekend.
Yes.
This will be your second time attending this event, correct?
Yes, it
Tell us
is.
a little bit about what you experienced last year and what you look forward to this year.
Okay, great. So last year, 2024, which was the third annual, I was invited out by Miss Natalie Kennedy. Thank you so much, Natalie. I appreciate you. And I was invited out as an author, so I set up a little table and had my books. And when I walked in, I saw that there were other great authors in the building, and they had their tables and their books, and we all sat there and we networked and we talked and we sold books and we took pictures and we showed us that we were family and the culture. There is a culture here in Tampa Bay area, and it was very well put together, well organized. They had food, they had poets. And there was no bias of anything. whatever you represented and stood for as an author, as your vision, as your work of art, you were welcomed in the building. So I appreciated being invited out, and I'm looking forward to it the second time, which is the 4th annual, taking place this Saturday, September 20th, 2025, in Tampa. For those that are locally, if you want the address to come out and support, it is 2002 North Lamar Avenue, Tampa, Florida. And this year, I've been invited out to read poetry, I would say, as an author, but also to read some of my work. And I was asked to come out and support this year's program theme, which is honoring the wonderful Miss Gwen Henderson, who's a local councilwoman. And I thought it was a great idea. I didn't hesitate. I wanted to be a part of it. I felt honored and privileged to even be considered and contacted. So this year should be definitely one you would not want to miss. I'm sure they're going to have the building packed with so many other authors that you may have never met, that you would want to meet and know because they have great work.
Why do you feel like this is important for Tampa as well as just artists in general, authors in general, excuse me?
So in the writing world, in the book world, from my experience, you can feel alone sometimes because a lot of people everybody does not like the same type of art. So finding people, first of all, who will embrace and respect you as an artist is a key. And then finding those on the opposite end who they don't know how to do what you do, but they look for ways to vent, to connect, network, to know you exist, to know you are close by when they want to get away or go somewhere. I think that is a self-relief for people as a whole. And if you want to narrow it down even closer, when you get culturally involved, so I think it is an important in Tampa.
So is this event, I know it's 23 of the authors that are selected, chosen. How does
that part I'm not too familiar with. I just know that they do reach out to artists. I've been contacted. So authors, I don't know if everyone's in the same network. I will see this year if I'm gonna see the same faces or I'm gonna see new authors. Most times it's they do their thorough research. They from colleges to the local communities, they reach out and they find you and they offer an invite and give you an opportunity to come into the world to share a part of the culture that's going on.
Is it authors of all range? Like, would we see someone that probably doesn't have as much notoriety featured in this expo?
Yes.
Oh, I like
yeah.
that.
There's no, like I said, there's no bias. There's no barriers. It is what it is.
Wow. And you said it's a networking event. So if they, are just small, I don't like saying the word small or big time, but someone that's just getting started, they can have the opportunity to network with people, maybe gain some new fans.
Yes, because most times, most of my buyers, like when they buy my book, a lot of times they are writers too. Some of them are writers. Many of them have questions. They want to know, how did you do what you want to do? How did you get your book published? What does it take to be able to get to where you are right now? Because that's where they want to be. So that forms the importance for them. And I think that, like I said, I always think it's a great thing that have something locally going on.
Who is this event for? Is it just for artists and poets?
No. Yep. So it's if you showed up, like if you just come out there with yourself or your news team, you're welcome there.
Well, I think what I'm getting at is, who's it open up for? Are you
the community,
families, all that? Do you
Everything.
see what type of, kind of describe the crowd? Young, old, black, white, just different ethnicities. It's for everyone. It's what I'm getting. But I kind of want to
target. Is that
So,
what you're
well, no, I'm
My-
just trying to get your experience.
my
of
experience-
the different
Yeah,
variety of
what's going
audience.
on. Yeah. So my experience when I was there last year, I saw, first of all, men and women, boys and girls, adults and children. That's the first thing I saw. Secondly, I saw our audience come in. They were very professional. There was no one in there unprofessional. There were professionals. I mean, I met I met police officers teachers came in, college students came in.
Yeah.
What else? Regular people in the community wanted to know what was going on because they saw so many cars. They come in, and that's pretty much how it is. Like I said, it's pretty much for all people. I haven't seen, and it wasn't no cultural bias. I mean, I've saw all shades of skin pretty much walk in.
Exactly. Good.
So that even as authors, which I like, they so family is family, artist is artist.
Going back to what Naisha asked you a few seconds ago was just about if I'm a book author or an artist or poet and I just need to, I need to just get over that hump.
Right.
Is this a place for it? Is this an event for it to kind of come and, like you said, network and just ask those questions and get that guidance and support?
So for me, I would say yes, because I'm the type of person that, once I know you do something that I do and I get close to you, I want to get connected. I want to network. I'm setting that stage to be able to ask those questions. Okay, how did you get this book done? Because I got poems in there still in notebook, but yours in a book format.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to ask that. From my experience, when they came in, I was able to interact and talk with people. They asked questions. I was told that they have books. I've told them they would like to publish books. How do I do it? So in the room, I like the network to know who specializes in what or who has more experience in what, so that I can say, yeah, go talk to Terrence, because Terrence, he can get you on Amazon. Go talk to, you, because you'll be able to help them properly edit it or format it or connect them with, if they want to go the literary agent route, whatever they want to do. I like the network to be able to do that so people can get what the bang for the buck.
That's great,
I
man.
love that. Troy said no gatekeeping over here.
No gatekeeping over here,
right.
absolutely. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back, folks.
All right.
Welcome back to the Rooted in Progress studio. Again, I'm your host, Terrence Middlebrooks, along with Naisha, and we got Troy Legette, who is a poet and author. Again, if you're just now joining us, the Tampa Bay Black Author Expo is taking place this weekend, and Troy has been gracious enough to come share his experience from the few previous years that he's been a part of it, and back this year. So Troy, let's talk about the importance. Or let me kind of back that question up. What is the art and poetry scene like here in Tampa?
Wow, great.
Do you think
question.
it's Go ahead.
Great question. So I got to big up Tampa, and I want to send much respect to all the artists, especially the ones that has been building things up from the ground up, out there putting the work in the communities throughout Tampa, from USF, the University of Tampa, to Ybor City, to various other places throughout the city. St. Pete is Clearwater.
Yeah.
St. Pete is thriving tremendously. I mean, they got many fantastic artists out there as well. And the great thing about it is, from Tampa to St. Pete, everybody collaborates, networks, get along, supports when they can. Because, when you get busy as an artist, it's not that you don't want to support somebody. It's just that you're working. We both are working at the same time. So. Yeah. But it's important for that movement because everybody's going in the same direction. So I've met a lot of great poets and artists and writers throughout the city. Some I've known prior to us knowing that we do the same art, and some after. And like I always say, when we see each other, it's always a great plus. In fact, I met a classmate. I met a person who is a pillar here in Tampa for poetry itself and spoken word, and has helped children in the community grow to a next level at the 3rd annual Tampa Black Expo author event. So, it just let me know that we all on the same track, and Tampa is definitely doing big things with the art and all arts, whether in whatever form it is.
So for someone who can't make it to the expo this weekend, what other groups, clubs, programs are being held? Do you know about any here in Tampa or across the bridge in St. Pete?
I think one good starting point, and I hope I say this right, I think it's called the Grow House or Grow House?
I'm not familiar either.
So it's definitely a great program that they started, because the last time I met with one of their affiliates and leaders he's been growing there, they are offering programs to teach people and help people how to write poetry and share their poetry and created an environment for
It's
them.
Grow House Tampa.
Yeah, Grow House.
Grow House
Yes.
Tampa. Yep.
So that I would say is definitely a good starting point. Whatever age, whatever you believe in, I think they welcome everyone in.
Wow. And the great thing about poetry, which people don't quite understand, is that there, again, like I said earlier, if you were watching, that there's no boundaries. There's no right or wrong. It's literally, I mean, I listen to quite a bit of spoken words, and people always think poetry has to rhyme. It's really storytelling, if you really want to dive in deep into it. And then metaphorically storytelling. That's where you get in deep, man. I'm so fascinated with.
I think art is so special.
Yes.
It's like a language that you literally have to decipher to understand.
Correct.
Even when you like walk into a museum, you're like, what is this supposed to be? And it takes a special eye or a special ear or a special voice to kind of to speak that.
Now, you say you're a photographer as well.
Yes.
Kind of tie that into your poetry and book writing and.
Okay, so photography for me started with when I started doing events and doing things. I realized I didn't have any documentation of things that I've been involved in my life. So I got a camera with the intention of capturing my moments.
Yeah.
But in the process of that, I'm around other people who ask, can you take a picture of me? And I do it, give it to them. They enjoyed it. And they said, you're pretty good at it. So here it is.
Yeah.
I start moving in that direction too. Then I found a love for it because I started capturing things that was unique, different. And then I turned that into a way to support people, to capture their moments. Because it was something that I didn't do for myself at a young age with many things that I've gone through from sports and things of that nature. So I figured, if I see something that's interesting, let me capture it. And then I would share it with them and let them have it. How did it tie in? So in my book, from some of those, journeys of photography, I captured pictures that I included in my second book. And I thought that it was interesting. I liked the picture so much that I said, before this picture get lost or anything, I'm about to put it in my book so I know where I can always find it.
That's great.
So I put,
Beautiful.
put some pictures in there. And then with photography, it's another level of art that when I really got to talk to photographers and I see that that's all they do, because that as an artist, that is what they see. And I learned the importance of it. I started taking it a little more serious, trying to learn things about it, learning the importance of capturing images that may no longer exist 2 to 3, 5 years, 10 years later. If you think and you see something, you get an eye for it, and you're like, wow. So a lot of the things we see as home decor, business decor, like when you walk in the halls, you see these pictures. They start with a photographer who had an eye for something that some people would overlook and say it's nothing.
Yep.
But this photographer get with other artists and they turn it into something bigger because they say people miss this. It's so simple, but it's big.
Yes.
And that's what photography does.
Ooh, you got my blood flowing over you. So I'm a photographer as well.
Okay.
And I dove in photography when I became a news photographer.
Okay.
Capturing news. And Aisha, I don't think you even know this story.
I think you did tell me the story, actually.
Yeah. So I remember being out on a story. There was just a flooding behind this building. And so I remember just going out there with my camera, and there was this kind of like this waterfall in everything that was taking place, all the negativity that was taking place that day there was a building that was being flooded. There was this beautiful waterfall that was just coming off the mountain, going right into this building, flooding out this community.
Right.
But I remember capturing this water and this raging water coming down this mountain, and man, was just like, dude, that's a beautiful picture. So saying all that to say, I got into photography because I captured a moment that could have just told that story of that community, the township, all of that surrounding areas, good or bad. But then it allowed me to have an audience who built their own narrative of that picture. You see what I'm saying? So I got into photography for just that. I'm a firm believer that a picture paints 1,000 words, and it's poetry in itself. It's unspoken poetry. And when you capture that moment, and then you just look at it, you can build your own story from that. And I think that's the joy and the beauty of, for me, poetry is allowing the audience to build its own narrative. and it's interesting, man. I've had some people look at my work and just kind of listen to them, and then ask them questions. What do you see in this picture, or what did you get out of this picture? And someone may have something completely different than the person next to him that's looking at the same picture. So
Correct.
It's a beauty. It's a beautiful, beautiful. And I'll say this too. I look at this, it's like someone asked me, like, you know, if we were to have a superpower, what would be your superpower? And for me, having an eye for photography,
Wow,
is my superpower.
That's awesome. That makes you a hero.
Exactly.
And the reason I say that
Appreciate
is because if you think back in time and you look, you know, like let's look at the times when world wars took place, and somebody captured those images that we see in our history books or we see back here in America. You know what I mean? And to a person who, I use that to a person who was not there, to be able to see exactly what took place. That's life changing for some people. You know what I mean? So that's why I compare it to what you were saying.
Yeah.
You know, that waterfall, when you captured that waterfall, you're the hero in that moment for the audience that thrive for something like that, or never even met, or never even knew, or was familiar with it, but could never get it to have as their own, but now they can see it. I remember I used to walk past there every day.
Yep.
You did that. That make you a hero
That's awesome, man.
to someone.
So how can people get involved with the expo this weekend? I know it's free, but you have to register. Is that correct?
When you say get involved, what do you mean, as far as an author or as far as coming out to support?
Either.
To buy? So from my understanding, their team reaches out and contacts the artists that they want to bring in. And then it's a free event where people throughout the community are welcome to come through and support if they, you know, if there's any literature in there that they will be interested in adding to their collections. So again, it's in Tampa, Florida, located off of 2002 North Lamar Ave. And, you know, definitely come out and talk with some of the authors, see some of the work, see some of the great book cover designs, talk to some of the people that orchestrated the event to find out if you're an artist, how you can get involved, all of those type of things. It will be great.
Okay. And the details of that again, Terrence, throw up that full screen. Saturday, September 20th, noon to 4 p.m. on Lamar Avenue in Tampa.
Yes.
And you can probably get your hands on some work like Mr. Troy Legette here. Sorry, I'm all in your space right now.
No, you're good.
To add to your collection.
Yep. So tell us real quick, how can we purchase the books? Where can they go to purchase them?
How can we support you?
Yes. For those that are interested in supporting me, Troy Legette, as the author and poet, my book is available on Amazon.com. You will find it, The Objective Scholar, Poetic Wordplay. You also find Social Climax if you're interested in that. It's on Goodreads, Amazon, mainly all platforms. If you research it, you'll find me.
Perfect.
Yes.
All right.
Well, Mr. Troy, we want to thank you for your time. Thank you for the folks on Facebook who are who commented and tuned in to take a look this week's episode. So Tampa Bay Black Author Expo is taking place this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. So we want to thank you, man. Really appreciate you coming in
worries.
and sharing your story with us.
And
No
Monica
worries.
Hines says thank you as well. She loves all your work in the art industry, and it warms her heart. So.
Tell her thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Now, again, I know I'm supposed to. I don't know how much time we have, but if you want, I'll be able to share for those that may not be able to make it out. I shared a piece of material that I intend to read there, and that way, if they don't make it out there, be able to at least share the moment.
Well, I tell you, unfortunately, we got to
We are
wrap
running
out
out of
here.
time, unfortunately.
Okay.
But man, listen, guys, go out and support this guy, Troy Legette, as well as all the authors that are out there. So
It's 23 of them.
yes.
So-
All right.
Yes.
Well, Naisha, it's been another great episode.
Great Thursday.
Yes. What is
All
that?
right.
Yeah. So
We'll be back next week, y'all. So make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook. This episode will be live on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts within the next 2 hours or so. So, wow, another one down, Terrence.
absolutely. So, folks, we want to say thank you on behalf of Naisha, Deanne, King, Kristen, McKay. You guys stay rooted. All right.
Stay rooted. See you next week.